And it's not arguments. The opinions go back and forth. Because they're just saying, well, in my opinion, this, oh, well, my opinion, this, that. And every now and then you get somebody who does argue, say, no, it's not, it's my way. It's like, and usually someone else tells them, hey, chill out. We have opinions here. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. We're rebels. So
my kitchen, my rules, your kitchen, your rules.
Yeah. All righty. So hot pack versus cold pack. I do have some questions after I got just a couple slides. Got some questions, and then I'm going to let Tammy run with it while I let my throat settle down.
I brought visual aids.
Yay! Okay, so I snagged this one off here. So evidently, 2 of these are raw pack and 2 of these are hot pack. Can you tell the difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm pretty sure the 2 on the right are the raw pack.
Yep.
Okay. Because that just kind of makes sense to put that up above it. And Grow Big TV is here on your side, Tammy. Ooh. Hey, Joe.
That's why I went out and came back in. It wouldn't let me stream to my audience. I wanted to make sure that we got everybody.
Yeah. And let's see here. All right. So, and this is one of the, most of the definitions are pretty much close to this that I found looking up. Hot pack versus cold pack. Raw packing or cold pack is the practice of filling jars tightly with fresh prepared but unheated food. Hot packing is the practice of heating freshly prepared food to boiling, simmering for 2 to 5 minutes, and promptly filling jars loosely with boiled food. Would you like to comment a little bit more on that?
Well, like, this is raw pack, where I put nothing in but the chicken, no liquid, nothing, and it's just a chicken. And you can see, get real close, there's quite a bit of liquid in there. All of that liquid came out of the chicken.
Yeah.
So this chicken, when I pull it out of here, I only did 1 jar like this because I don't like it this way. And that is my opinion. The safety, the approval, both are exactly the same. The time, everything is exactly the same, except this was raw packed with no liquid. Okay?
Okay.
This one was raw packed with liquid. So all the moisture in the chicken stayed in the chicken. And I filled it up with moisture. I loved raw pack. It's easier. It's quicker. I don't have to cook it and then cook it again. I'm only cooking it once, so I feel like it's not overcooked. But I'd much rather do it with liquid in there than without.
Okay. And Joe also came in on my side too. He's doing double for both of us. All right, Joe.
So really, I think there's 3 things we're talking about here. We have hot pack, cold pack, and raw pack.
Yes.
Cold pack is, you can do cold pack like hot pack. I'll do like meat sauce, and it's hot. And I'll put it in the jars, goes right in the canner, and my temps come up real quick. Cold pack, I can have sauce I made the day before, and it's cold, put it in the jars, and then it takes longer to bring up the temperature. And raw pack is raw food that you're cooking in the jars, like beans, meats, stuff like that. You can do raw pack beans. That's its own scary science right there. Dry beans in a jar. You better be right.
I can go grab some. I did them in the same load. It takes the same time.
Yeah, that's if you put a couple beans too many in there, it blows the lids off.
Yeah.
So
that's why I think
really
beans are the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. So there's really 3 we're talking about, and technically, if you want to be technical, that's the tech part of my chef.
Okay. All right. So you got hot pack, cold pack, and then raw pack. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. So something different I learned, because everything else I saw, they said either raw pack or cold pack, and they didn't make a distinction between cold pack and raw pack.
And see, cold pack is also a misnomer. If you want to get technical, it's always room temperature. You never put frozen or cold things in the canner. You start always at room temperature. So I want to make very clear that when they say cold, they mean that it's
Not hot.
Not hot.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
boiling.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's let me get it back up here. There we go. Boom. So here's one of the ones that, and they're showing doing carrots, raw pack and hot pack. So they put the carrots in there and they put hot water over it, and then the other one they cook it and boil it in 3 to 5 minutes in a saucepan, blanch or whatever, and pour everything into the jar.
And see, when you blanch it, you kill the enzymes that cause it to break down, cause your food to self-destruct, as it were,
Yeah.
So there's a real good scientific reason you should blanch your food first.
Right. I know my mom and my wife would blanch the zucchini, the all the a lot of the vegetables and stuff, the Swiss chard and spinach and stuff like that. So before they froze it, they blanch it, drain it, dry it, freeze it.
Yeah, and it just kills those enzymes that cause the food to continue to ripen after it's been harvested.
Yeah.
And blanching,
right.
you got to blanching is throw it in the boiling water for your period of time, 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, depending on the food, and then you got to cool it down really quick. It stops the cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I threw this one in here just because as a raw for canning in general. So this is, for those that can't read what the sticker says, they put little stickers on it. It says beef plain 7-17. So since they're putting not only the month, but the day of the month, they're probably, or unless that's supposed to be 2017.
That's 2017.
That's 2017.
Okay. All right. I was going to say they were doing a lot of canning, but so they did 34 jars here in this session they did that day. And to me, if thinking about it, if you're going to go quote off the grid store and do all your own food and stuff, this is about 2 months worth of beef, maybe 3, depending on what else you have. If you have equal amounts of chicken, equal amounts of pork,
Do you eat it twice a week? Do you eat it 3 times a week? I mean, it's just it's a personal habit thing.
Yeah.
Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 people in your family that are eating it?
Yeah.
So
that
could literally be a month's worth if you have 6 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for my wife and I, this would probably be 3 months easy.
Yeah.
Because what she'll do with it, she'd probably take one of these quart jars and take the meat out of it and turn it into what she calls, what we call taco meat, but it's basically, you can put it in tacos, you can put it in burritos, you can put it in quesadillas, and we'll do all that from 2 pounds of meat. It'll go for, take care of us for 3 nights easy and have leftovers for lunch the next day.
And a quart is basically 2 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
A pint's a pound the world around. I know it's a weird saying, but you can fit a pound of meat in a pint, and you can fit 2 pounds of meat in a quart easily. So that's about all you want to put in, and have the rest liquid.
All right. So there's my raw for everyone canning more. If you're not canning, learn to can.
Or as Uncle Al has given me my slogan for the year, can all you can.
Yeah.
I can because I can.
So here's my question. It's a multiple questions. So what is the pros and cons for hot pack versus cold pack now versus raw pack for beef, pork, and fowl? Because fowl, you got chickens, turkeys, whatever you can hunt and stuff like that. So
flavor.
That's
I only have to cook it once if I raw pack it or cold pack.
Okay.
And
you can cook. You can do all of them that way.
Yes.
I like to make. I made a pot roast meal in a jar. So I made long in a wide mouth pint and a halves. So I made long, like 1.75 inch long square tubes. I browned the meat because I wanted that flavor. And I cooked it a little bit, not all the way through. I cooked it, and then I threw in like a couple pieces of carrot, a couple pieces of onion, no bay leaf because that really goes bad quick, and some potatoes. And I threw them all in one jar. So it was for me, it's a meal in a jar. And I just can as needed for the longest time, which is meat. And of course, the potatoes and the carrots are very, very, very soft. Do the can. And but it's a meal in a jar. I made those in 2017. I still have 2 left. And my friend Richard, who's not on here, he loves to come over to my house, go shopping. He's like, "Oh my God, can I have another one of those?" Like, yeah, knock yourself out, take it. And he takes it home. He'll call me up 3 days later, be like, "It was the best pot roast ever." Now it's not thick gravy. I didn't know I could throw in certain thickeners to keep it thick ahead of time. So it's just broth. So he just makes a little bit of roux and throws it in the broth and thickens it up. But now I know better.
In my members only right now, I have a trick on how to thicken the broth. I did a chicken pot pie video along with canning this chicken for today. And the ugly chicken video will be out after the live today. And then in my members only, there's chicken pot pie. And I have a trick in the chicken pot pie on how to thicken it.
Yeah.
Legally,
I watched it.
Following the recipe.
I watched that. I'm not sure how long it was out before I spotted it. I just happened to be
24 hours. It was out 24 hours before anyone in my members section saw it, and you were the only one. You're the only viewer so far.
Okay, because I basically today I was open. I've been, since I'm not getting notifications, and I should have gotten an email notification for being a member, but I went and I'm going into YouTube Basic, into the Prime, the basic thing, and it just happened to pop up there. It's like, oh, boom, and I watched it. So because it wasn't there earlier before, about a couple hours earlier, I was in there and it wasn't showing. This time it was like the number 3 on you get all those recommendations when you go to the YouTube home, and it's like, oh. So you can do beef, pork, and fowl raw pack, and it saves time for cooking and stuff. What about ground meat? Whether it's ground pork, ground beef, or ground fowl.
I did meatloaf. I did meatloaf in a jar once raw. It worked. Didn't like the flavor of it afterwards because it's not brown. Ground beef, I'll cook ground beef. I'll make taco, just taco beef out of it with all the seasonings the way I like it tasting, and then I'll hot pack it and throw it in a jar in a canner, and it cooks more. So yeah, it changes the textures and stuff like that. So go ahead, Tammy. I'm sorry.
I have to say, it is not USDA approved to can ground meat. Having said that, I do it all the time. A lot of the times, though, like I grind all my own turkey and can it as taco meat. So I know that there's no bacteria from the time it was purchased, washed, ground, and immediately cooked and put in the can.
Do you raw pack it though, or do you cook it first?
I cook it first. I brown it slightly. To say cook it isn't really what I do. It's still very red in the center. I just brown the outside so that it doesn't stick together.
Right.
So if it was a steak, you'd be cooking it rare.
Oh, I just put my I have a steak out there. I put my steak in raw. I raw pack it and then put.
But I mean, when you're browning it in the pan, it's like cooking a rare steak. It's brown on the outside, red on the inside, and
cowboy
that's Pittsburgh
raw.
black and blue.
Cowboy raw.
Still moo. Lots of moo left.
Yeah, brown it nice for the flavor. Leave it raw, cold in the middle. Still throw it in a jar, can it, and then your flavors are just so much better when you brown the meat because you're caramelizing the natural proteins in the meat, and that's your flavor right there.
It also sears both. If you sear both sides of the meat, you're keeping your moisture in your meat. So that's a thing. Yeah. You don't want it to dry out.
Right.
And I'm also, when I put hamburger in a jar, that's one thing I don't put liquid in with. because I don't want watered down hamburger. I'm probably not gonna make a gravy, even though there is hamburger gravy. I'm not gonna make a gravy with that meal, so I don't add water to a hamburger type thing situation.
Yeah, so I have a feeling my wife will probably do a quarter of them with beef broth in them, because she makes a dish called beefy noodles, where she does the hamburger, makes a white gravy, and then she boils up the extra wide egg noodles, and then puts them on your plate, puts a plop of the gravy beefy stuff on top of it.
The yummy goodness.
And the boys are inhaling it, literally. It's like, and it's like, can I have more? It's like, I haven't even gotten a quarter way through mine.
Yeah, and see, I find if I'm like doing it for like tacos and I'm adding like taco seasoning, if I'm adding the liquid in the water to, more than just a little bit in the bottom, it's diluting the spices so much that I'm wasting my money on spices.
Yeah.
That's why I pre-cook my taco meat the way I like it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the moisture's out of it. There's still a little bit in there. And when I open the jar up, it's like I hate to say it's like Taco Bell meat paste, but that's exactly what it is. And it tastes great. And the ground beef is like so ground up fine at that point because it double cooked. And throw it in a pot, heat it up. I have to add a little bit of water or something to it, a little hot sauce, whatever. But it's all ready to go then. And it's
almost sounds like you need to throw in a couple spoonfuls of refried beans in it to make it go, whoa.
Well, if you really want it, hello. If you really want it to be like Taco Bell's, you save the fat and you add, for every pound of hamburger, you add a quarter cup of finely ground oatmeal and cook and let that oatmeal soak up the fat and add it back in and stir it in with your meat. And that's the secret to Taco Bell taco meat.
Well, their other secret is, which I really shouldn't even say, is the quality of the beef that they purchase to make that. So it's not exactly grade A prime or grade A choice. It's cutter canner
it's not
grade.
Ground sirloin. It's not ground sirloin. It's not ground eye round.
But it's 100% beef. We'll go with that.
And that's the beauty of pressure cooking in your canning jar. You can take those really poor quality cuts of meat and it really tenderizes them.
Oh yeah, chuck steaks.
And you would not know that they weren't the finer cuts of meat because they're no longer tough. They're very, very tender, very juicy. And so you really don't know, especially if you leave a little of the fat in there, you really don't know that they're not the nicer cuts of meat. And we could all use a little frugality in our budget right now.
Yeah.
All right. So Joe joined both of Joe through Grow Big TV joined both of our channels.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Yeah. So I have a feeling Joe's going to be watching that chicken pot pie video after the live.
Well, make sure you put the potatoes in it because I left the potatoes out and I wish I had put the potatoes in it. But I have several hundred jars, pints and quarts of canned potatoes that I have to eat up so I can have my jars back. So I don't can potatoes in anything right now. I add them later.
You have the inverse of my problem right now. I now am emptying jars at a rapid pace and running them through the freeze dryer to get more time out of them. So now I have boxes and boxes of jars all over the living room, everywhere, and they're all mixed up. And I keep trying to organize them, and then 15 more jars get opened up, and I'm running the freeze dryer. And
if only you lived closer, I could donate 300 pounds of potatoes already canned to your.
I got 4 All-American canners here that just would love to be running at the same time.
No, they're already canned. I canned 400 pounds of 300
Oh,
pounds
jeez.
of potatoes one year. I have a lifetime supply of canned potatoes at my house.
That's a
I
little
need
much
them
for me.
off my shelves, and nobody will eat potatoes here because they're all sick of them because we ate so many potatoes the first year I got them all given to me. And so you can what you're given, right?
Oh yeah. Take them
My
out of the
kids-
jar, mash them up, add some cheese and bacon to it, and make some loaded mashed potatoes. Maybe
And
they'll like that.
I
If
just
they
got
see-
ads on both channels here. I'm watching. I got Camp Patton and Gray Man Prepping up here. I just got ads on both of them. So that we're 30 minutes in since I started the countdown timer. So everybody else should be getting some ads out there too. And we got Moon Over Miami came in and Checked Off came in.
Hi.
I thought the secret to Taco Bell was to have a high percentage of fillers to the beef.
Yeah,
That's what
Tammy
the
said.
oatmeal is. That's what the oatmeal is.
That's the oatmeal.
And it's not whole oatmeal, it's ground up powdered oatmeal.
Well, you can actually you can't, by the time you stir it up with the fat, you can't tell that it's not. I use quick oatmeal. The secret is to start with just a little bit and add it, and gradually your family doesn't know what's in there. And then they're like, wow, this tastes just like when we go to Taco Bell. Like, that's a compliment. And again, just a frugal tip from Rebel Canners.
Add oatmeal, they'll never know.
As long as they
They'll
don't
think
see
you're
it
at a
out.
fast food restaurant.
As long as they don't see it.
Now, question: once you've added the oatmeal to it, can you still can that?
Legally, under the alphabet soup laws, no. Do
No.
I? Yes. Have I? Yes.
So it's not illegal. It's just not legal because they haven't tested it.
They say that all grains are untested.
I can't beef barley soup, which got me kicked off the canning page. Yeah, Tammy remembers.
Yeah.
I can't beef barley soup. I was like, oh my God, look at my picture. I can't beef barley soup. You can't can. Oh, I got all kinds of feedback. And then 2 women on there sent me a private message saying, you need to go to Rebel Canners. And that's where I went. And that's where I've been ever since.
And I am very, very, I owe those 2 ladies a very big thank you if you're listening now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate Mark.
And I appreciate Mark.
I can't remember their names.
And I connected with Mark through you, Tammy. So,
Yep.
Yeah. All right. All right. Headspace when is there a headspace difference between canning raw, cold, or hot?
You leave 1 inch.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. 1 inch.
Except if you're doing raw, like you did that one jar of chicken raw, no liquid added to it.
Oh no, she had 1 inch in there. You pack it down as hard as you can. So when it cooks, the chicken shrinks, the moisture comes out, and it drops in level.
This chicken was all the way up to the top there, where my finger is.
Okay.
I had to punch it down, and that's how much it shrunk because there was no liquid added.
Okay.
Just a minute. Wait. I got it. Can't do this one-handed. This one is the same amount of chicken, but with the liquid, and you can see it did not shrink nearly as much.
Well, the chicken shrank. You got more broth in there now.
But the chicken didn't shrink as much. This one is about half the size of what it was.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a lot better for things I can try and do and not freak out. I mean, you ever on your Facebook page today, if somebody can throw up the Facebook link and into the chat, I appreciate it. There was someone who posted it and said, I did this, I didn't add broth and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Is it okay? And it was like, that's exactly the way I do it. You did great. Everyone was just piling on. Yes. I didn't see one negative comment. So this, I guess, was her first time doing something and not adding liquid to it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, guys,
it's personal. I don't like it this way because I feel like it dries my chicken out. I mean, this one had a lot of liquid come out of it.
Yeah.
I don't like it that way. That's why a hot pack, because I can actually get, even though it was like,
more in the
say,
jar.
I can get a lot more in a jar if it's already cooked because it already shrank down. I pack it in a jar with a little bit of broth, and then my jar is full of meat. So, and then, yeah, it gets a little drier and all that. I mean, it's all personal preference, like you said, Tammy. It's
and
you do it however you want. Just follow the basic guidelines for times, and stuff will last for a while.
And I will hot pack leftovers. So I did chicken in the Instant Pot for dinner the other night, and there was like 5 or 6 chicken breasts. Well, I only used 4, and I have 2 in the freezer. If I don't use those shortly, I'll get them out. I'll thaw them. And the next time I'm doing a load that's 75 minutes for pints, I'll get them out and throw them in my pint jar. And then I'll find some broth or something to put in there with them.
All right. Hang on
So
here.
I save the hot pack for leftovers.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So there is Rebel Canners Facebook group going in there. And here's one of the posts there. I just scored 50 quarts for $20. Most of them are ball or curd. Some I never heard of. Want to make sure they're reliable. They are Genuine, Atlas, and Dre. I've heard of Atlas.
I've heard
Dre
of Dre.
is pretty rare, so I'm kind of jealous. They're old and good jars. They're tempered.
As long as it's not one with no logos or anything on it, then it's a Hellman's mayonnaise jar. You may want to be careful with those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
the old ones are good. It's the new ones you got to worry about.
You look at the people post all the jars up above the cabinet. Ooh, blue jars.
As long as they don't have anything in there, fine up there. But you start filling them up with a lot of heavy stuff, you may lose your cabinetry.
Yeah, those are all empty, and these blue jars have the big thick rings on there, the tall rings. Yep. I can see that from here. Oh, the blue jars. Oh yeah, I'm so jealous.
Yeah,
I got some blue jars with the glass domes and the bales. Those are weird.
Here's that one I was talking about. I canned sausage and hamburger for my first time today. I cooked them, then pressure canned it 10 pounds for 90 minutes, quarts. I didn't add water or broth. Do these look like they're supposed to? They look great to me. Just bothers me. It bothers me they're not in water or broth. And everybody says, looks like mine. Good job.
Yep. And again, it's personal. I mean, she may decide she wants the broth. Like you said, your wife likes to use the broth for her recipes. So she might decide she wants it, but I like it when I do ground meat.
Now on a downside, when you put you don't put broth in there, if you don't touch those jars for like a year, if it's beef, the top of the beef changes color, not because it's necessarily exposed. Yeah, there's air in there, sure, but it's sterilized air. So it dries out and changes the color. But if you shake it up a little bit every now and then, it goes away. You'll never even notice it.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. I've seen lots of those.
You're supposed to cook it when you open it anyway. Even stuff you buy at the store says to cook it when you open a can or of food, especially a meat product. Cook thoroughly before consuming, whatever. So when you cook it, you have a little bit of something in your pan, oil, water, something to cook it in, a tiny bit, and you add that moisture back in, and the color comes right back to normal.
Yep. Unless you're Mad Max eating your can of Dinky Dog.
Yeah.
Out in the plains, then you're just going to eat it out of the can.
Well, Skinner Farms in the house saying hi to everybody.
If I'm at the Thunderdome, I'm not going to be worried about whether I'm cooking my food before I go out with my whatever on a baseball bat. Yeah, I got bigger problems.
All right. Here's another one. I'm gonna throw this up here. Another one that is 4 pints taco meat because that's all we had left after a company of 2 20-year-olds. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. 2 seniors and us cooked 10 pounds. Everybody ate a lot. No liquid added, pre-cooked.
That means they consume 16 pounds of meat because there's only the 4 pints That's a pound. Again, roughly a pound each.
It's a pound raw, not cooked. Well, it's a pound cooked, so it was like probably 1 3/4 raw.
Yeah, that's a hefty meal.
From what I would say that was over several meals because they had visitors there, so it's like family visiting.
Yeah.
That's
tacos for lunch, tacos for snacks, tacos for dinner.
Oh, here's an interesting one. No pictures, I'll just read it. I'm water bathing refried beans. I still don't own a pressure canner because I was chicken. Now I feel it'd be worthwhile to have, but holy cow, are they expensive?
Yep.
Maybe someone will get us one as a wedding gift. I'm trying to figure out how long they need to be in the water bath. I'm at 6,000 foot altitude, so I know I need to add 15 minutes, but how long do I need to cook them? Has anyone else done this? I use lard in them as well as garlic. I'm blank here. And there were 8 comments. This was done
3 hours. 3 hours.
No, less than an hour ago, and she's got 8 comments on there.
No, Mark is saying she needs to do it for at least 3 hours in the water bath.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, that's on there. Up there, I'm not even seeing all the comments.
That's hard when you get above 3,500 feet. You really want to get a pressure canner because water boils. I mean, water boils at 180 at a mile. So if you're in Colorado and you're water bathing, you're only boiling at 180 degrees. You got to do it so much longer, and at those times, I don't even think those times are listed anywhere.
No, and I'm not patient enough to stand over a pot and watch it boil that long. I'm sorry.
Well, someone did. One of your people went in there and put 3 hours.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they I say this is your Facebook group is great for having support. So if everybody in the side chat, if you're not a member of it, I posted it and Alicia posted it in the chat there. Join up. Even the staff sergeant joined up to it. So.
It's not a quick join. It's not like, hey, I'm a member. Nope, you got to answer a questionnaire. You got to wait. You got to wait. What? Did you change it?
It is on automatic right now. If they answer the questions, they will automatically be approved.
Oh wow! Crap.
And for a limited time only, they don't have to have
I had to wait a day.
If they're limited time only, they don't have to have a profile picture because somebody asked me to turn it off so they could join, and so it's turned off today. I haven't remembered to turn it back on, so you don't even have to. So the bar is really low today.
Yeah.
Trolls are coming.
Well, they can come, but bring it on.
There are admins with hammers.
Yeah,
Oh yes, they are.
Yeah. Good luck with
that.
How
many admins you got now? Like 10, 20?
I don't confess how many, and then I have 3 in my back pocket that only get turned on when everybody else is blocked.
Wow. Have you ever blocked an admin?
Yes.
Oh, geez. Good thing I was never an admin. You'd have blocked me in a heartbeat.
I had a hostile takeover once.
Oh, wow.
And they tried to take the whole group from me. And so I'm very careful who I make. I don't make admins anymore. I make moderators. You have to be somebody I know personally to be an admin, or like you could do it because I've known you so long. I would let you do
it. I'm not on there enough anymore, and I'd probably lose my mind at this point.
The notifications you would get per minute every day would drive you. Your phone would, you have to have a good battery to be a moderator or an admin in there.
Yeah, don't add me. Thanks.
No, you're fine. And then you have to understand, I also have friends in Australia that are on there. So the site is literally being monitored 24/7.
Yeah, Darren. I've seen Darren and Darren put every night. He'll put up there, behave, people.
and if you think I'm mean, don't mess up during my sleep because he's on duty.
Yeah. I like Darren's comments when he comes in there as an admin saying, hey guys, you guys are getting all nasty. Let's tone it down. We're rebels, not anarchists.
Yeah. You can play nice or leave. That's his motto. And I'm fine with that because if they're messing around while I'm asleep, then They made a wrong choice.
I remember messaging you a couple times going, seriously, this person is like shooting my post down. And you're like, hold on. You're like, just leave him alone. He's fine. It's like, and I'm like, you know what? That's not, you don't think that's fine? Hold on. Let me tag one of my posts from 5 years ago and drive it back to the top. You want to see some posts? There's your post. I was doing live streams back in the day. You know, you can't do a live stream. Like, I did a whole bunch of them, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But YouTube, their Facebook's terms have changed too, and I understand that.
And I get people that just want to use my group for their platform, and that's fine if they ask me first. I have this funny idea that they should have manners. So like if somebody says, "Hey, I would like to advertise my XYZ, you know, if it's in the same theme as what your group is, would it be all right?" I have never said no. But if you come in my group and you start spamming it with advertisements for yourself, you're out of there because you have no manners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Got another one here. I'm going through your Facebook thing here while we're talking here. First time canning meat. Can someone explain why my lids and rings have this black stuff all over them? They were brand new lids and rings.
You had some leakage and there were some problems and you didn't put vinegar in the water.
Yeah, or your water's got a lot of hard water, a lot of
that's whatever most of the comments here. It's hard. It's the water you use. Put some cream of tartar in the canner, 1/4 tablespoon, teaspoon, and same thing, cream of tartar. And there's 76 comments on it. Boom. So, and that's the cream of tartar. Yeah. Happens, especially the chicken, sausage. Yeah. So
yeah. I did this chicken, and you can tell I never have to worry about the water line anymore. It is marked. The water line of where I should fill the canner is marked. It's black. I got to get some cream of tartar in the next load. Probably too late, but oh well.
It's only a stain on the metal. Everybody freaks out. My metal is stained. It's like, it's just a pot. It's not getting in your food.
Wait, did you say it's just a pot?
Okay.
Oh.
Have you seen my new canner, Mark?
Have you seen my 4 other canners that have black stains in them?
Mark, I will be right back. This is not just
I really stirred the pot on that one, didn't I?
Oh, wait, this is not a pot. This is my baby. Hang on. I'll be
You didn't stir the pot, Mark. You shook it.
Yeah, I shook the pot, threw it across the room, stomped on it a few times. Oh, I'm in for a beating now.
Anyways, earlier when first time I was laughing there, I didn't comment on it, but we were talking about the browning the ground beef, and Tammy said, cowboy steak, type stuff. My dad, at the time this happened, he was a special deputy sheriff for Clark County, Nevada, which is Las Vegas. And his beat was all the casinos where they had showgirls. He and a couple other guys would go around when the showgirls were getting done with their performance. They had the clock. They were backstage to keep the guys there. Oh, I got to go meet her, trying to get through to do it. Well, they also got fed by the different casinos and stuff. On lunch. Oh, I got to go to lunch. No, sit down. We want you here in case something goes on. We'll feed you while you're here. Well, he kept ordering. He was a steak man. He'd order steak, and he ordered rare. And the one place, the guy did not know how to cook a rare steak, and he sent it back a couple, different times, and they same guy said it's not that. So the chef went and took a steak and slapped it raw on the plate. Said, "Oh, there we go. Hang on, let me make that big, Tammy."
All right, Tammy, show off.
It's been laserized.
This is not just a pot. This is my
custom. Rebel pot. It's a rebel pot.
It's my custom. It is in black, and it is embossed with my logo.
It's her new adopted child.
Yeah. My youngest birth child tried to get it from me. No. No.
Was that 925 or 930?
The bigger one.
Single stack quart or
Double
double stack
pints.
quart?
Double stack pints.
Okay, 925.
Yeah, 925. Thank you. Thank you to All American. That was a gift.
That's sweet.
Yes. And then thank you to Lehman's Hardware in Kid Run, Ohio for doing the embossing. That was
Cool.
also a gift.
Now I'm gonna have to send one of my pots out to get Chef Tech put on there.
Huh.
Or just a lid.
Oh, yeah. What size do you have, Mark?
I got two 920s, two 925s, and two 930s.
Okay.
I only need one. I'll probably get my newest looking 930 sent out. It's the one I could double stack. I think I put 14 quarts in that thing.
I can't get you. I don't think I can get you a 930, but we'll talk about a 925.
Yeah, no. I'll just send the lid out. I'm sure I can get somebody to do it around here. I mean, there's a lot of
Mark, you're missing the point. You're missing the point.
Mark, we'll discuss this later.
Okay, we'll talk later.
When you've had some coffee and you can think about what I'm saying. I'll be there June 19th and 20th at both with Ernie from All American at the Food Independent Summit in
Ohio?
Millersburg, Ohio.
Send me a link for that. I'll see if I'll take vacation and drive out there by myself and bring all my canners with me.
And then if you go to the food summit, they give you a coupon to get your canner embossed at the hardware.
Really?
Yes.
Sweet. Send me a link, please.
How about I send you, you're just going by yourself or you need 2 tickets?
Oh, no, probably just me. I don't think my wife's going to want to go to a canning seminar with me. She likes my canning. She doesn't can.
Let me see if I can get you some tickets.
That'd be cool. Thank you.
Cool. Okay, jumping back to where I was talking about my story with my dad. So the guy sent out a raw steak out to my dad. My dad ate it. Tell the chef that was pretty good. Still a little bit too done. The chef came out with his mouth hanging on the floor. That was raw. He goes, how do you want to cook? He goes, 30 seconds one side, 30 seconds the other. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad got it perfect from then on. I think that was the Fremont. In Vegas. And so yeah, from then on, man, boom, he had it down. And then the guy found out that my aunt was one of the dealers there too. So my dad, he made sure my dad had his steak the way my dad needed.
When I was a child, my mother always made shoe leather. And I didn't realize I like steak until I learned what the different levels of.
You mean pork chops aren't supposed to be crunchy all the way through?
No.
Oh.
That's
how I grew up.
Yeah. I mean, how do I put this? We didn't need steak knives on the table because it wouldn't cut it anyway.
Yeah, you just break it.
Yeah, it just crumbles into steak dust.
Well, we were all afraid of the B word back then. You know, everything was contaminated. You had to cook it to death.
And well, my parents lived through the Depression, so like nothing went to waste. So another reason to cook it is if it's sat in the refrigerator that long before you cooked it, you might want to really cook it really well.
Yummy.
Yum.
I'm trying to find something here to share with you. Just a second. It is it's from Darren.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble.
Yes.
I fucked up his name.
There we go. And
I'm
going to save this here.
Gets all his paperwork completed and moves here.
Okay. He posted this a couple last Friday, I think it was.
Oh, yes.
And it goes, blue, lavender, mauve, deepish blue, rare, scarce, unique, all the way through. The last one on the bottom here, which it actually isn't pointing to the last one. I counted down. It's pointing to 3 up from the bottom. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
Yeah.
And of course, me with my sense of humor, I'd put on it. I'll take since that's third from the bottom, I'll take the one two below it.
I'm sort of a lavender girl, but whatever's below lavender, one down, I'll eat that too if I have to.
That's mauve.
If they bring me mauve, I'll eat it, but I prefer lavender.
Yeah. So let me see if I can do this here.
Depending on where I'm buying it from, because like if I'm going to some restaurants, I want it down at the Anakin level.
So those are the medium well, relatively well, undoubtedly well, swell, well done, exceptionally done. It's over, Anakin.
Lightsaber is.
No, that's the lava where he fell and he tried to jump over and he got cooked in the lava.
Oh.
Hey, Goshen Prepping, how's it going?
Meat.
Yeah, we've been talking about canning meat, raw pack, cold pack, hot pack, and I just had to throw that in there because talking about the different ways of we talked about how to brown the hamburger before you can it to make it, come out the best. Yeah, there is some.
Big question we used to get, Tammy and I would get on Facebook is, if I want to hot pack my sauce, if I put it in the jars and they're cold, will they crack? It's like they can. You may want to heat your jars up a little bit. If you're going to put boiling sauce in your jars, you may want to get them hot and get the jars hot. Get everything hot and you're fine.
But I realize if you're processing over 10 minutes, they no longer recommend that you sanitize your jars. But that doesn't mean that you want everything to be at the same temperature when you start. So
right,
if
you don't want a cold jar hot sauce because you could fracture the jar before it goes in the canner and then it blows up in a canner. Now you got a mess.
Yeah, and we don't want to do that to my baby.
Yep.
Your pot?
My baby.
Your pot.
It's great. Did you see? It's my color.
It's a pot.
I'm
going to message you forever on this one now. How's your pot doing?
I begged them for this color. Like they had it as like a possibility. And I'm like, what do you mean it's only a possibility? Like that should be the color. And they're like, well, everybody wants the antique yellow, sunny yellow and antique harvest gold green and harvest green. And I'm like, I really, really want the gray, Ernie. I want the gray.
Dark gray.
The darker the gray, the better.
Yeah. All right. So, Tammy, when is the next time you're going live?
That is a great question. I don't know the answer to that. I'm sorry. Life is a little crazy right now. School term just switched. This is the first week. I will try to go live on Thursday.
Okay.
At noon.
At noon?
At noon on Thursday.
Noon Eastern, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of these months, Mark will do a live.
I'm working on it. Talking to a few friends about it, and I got to talk to you, Gil, about how to do this with StreamYard. And
no problem. We can spend some time when you want to. Just let me know, and I'll set up a little private stream between ye and thee, and we will
include me. I want to be there.
All right.
I have a question on StreamYard on something that I don't know how to do.
Hey, Courtney.
Hey.
Yeah. All right. So Tammy's going to go live on Thursday, maybe at noon.
Tammy had a question.
Oh, I said include me in the tutorial. I have questions.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I got that. All right. So for me, between my two channels, tomorrow night on Grayman Prepping, that's Gray with an A for those aren't subscribed to it. Grayman Prepping topic tomorrow on Tactical Tuesday at 10 Eastern time. The topic is biggest lies preppers are being told. And I got 20 of them that I'm pulling from other prepping channels that are putting out lies to new preppers and gullible older preppers.
Yeah, buy my stuff. Yeah.
Woo!
Woo, woo, woo.
Sweet.
All right. Then on Thursday night, the midnight ride. It's also going to be at 10 o'clock. That's back here on Gray Man Prepping. So the midnight ride with Gray Man Prepping is going to be at 10 p.m. Eastern. That puts us going live at midnight in Rio de Janeiro for the midnight ride.
Does that mean I might be awake and without being woke up?
Maybe. All right. Next one is for Friday back here on Camp Patton Family Compound. It's going to be an odd Friday. It's called the Ides of March. And we're going to delve in some historical things. And I'm going to go some historic. I'm going to do a couple of video reviews of some short videos from the Fat Electrician. So hopefully, since I'm doing it totally 100% non-monetized, maybe YouTube will leave the ads off. Bullshit. Hey, Ryan the Gamer, how you doing? Then on Saturday, on Gray Man Prepping for Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the topic is, it's a long one, but I'm shortening it down for YouTube portion of it. It's cooking without power or gas. The rest of it is, and the firewood is wet.
Oh, that's no fun.
Oh, this is going to be a fun one.
No, it's no fun to try to start the fire and keep it going when the firewood starts up.
Basically, we'll be talking about what other thing do you usually cook with that's not electrical, not gas, and not firewood. It's about that big. It's black. It's square. It has kind of a bulge to it on each side.
It was made by Ford.
The wood was originally provided by Ford to his friend Kingsford Ford. King.
Yes. Well, I don't use it for that though. My big thing is I saw, and I'm going to steal this video and make a video of my own. I want to use it to garden with.
And watch the chemicals.
Yes, you got to be careful on some of them.
You got to buy a special brand. They covered that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow from Luke and redo his video, but give him credit at the end.
Right. So that's what's up on Saturday. We're going to talk about ways to cook and stuff. When basically, like a storm's come through, power's out. You had all your firewood out there drying and getting kind of got drenched on, and there's no gas, and so how are you going to cook? So we're going to talk about that on Saturday. Then back on Monday for our next canning session here next week is canning hot dogs and sausage.
Yeah.
I'll be that's what we're going to be talking about. And
I have some andouille sausage I need to can up, so maybe I'll do something with that for this week.
Cool. And so that's what's coming up here for the next week. We got a bunch of other good ones coming up farther out. Let's see. We got the following in 2 weeks from today. We got canning sauces. The following week, canning chicken, canning vegetables, canning beef, canning fruit and nut butters. After that, so we got at least five more weeks of good canning topics to cover, folks.
And you're gonna keep my channel going because you're gonna keep me inspired to get something done I can show and tell.
Oh, Mercedes Lopez. Oh, all right. So, so it's probably Johnsonville sausages are recalled. Okay, folks, go in, check the news links, find out what the batch numbers are to see if you happen to have those Johnsonville sausage links.
Just tell me it's not the andouille because I think that's the brand I just bought.
Yeah, well, yeah, she said Johnsonville, so unless Johnsonville makes yours.
It does.
Yeah.
It did.
They do, okay. And so, yeah. And sometimes some of these recalls that are going out are, it's like, yeah, they're health things, but some of them are just like, really, you don't know for sure whether or not there is a missing marker that made it into the batch somehow. Nobody saw any pieces.
Conveyor belt
Hmm.
might be in there. Send it back. We don't want a choking hazard. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what I have coming up. That's what Tammy has coming up here. And so Mark, stick around.
Yes,
so
I will.
we're going to wrap this up here, folks. And just remind everybody, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out doing anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps, water, food, medicine, clothing, and get more canning done, folks. If you don't know how to can, learn that skill. Learn how to can, both water bath and pressure canning. Good night, all.
Good night.